60 years ago, on June 27, 1964, Wayne and Sandy became Mr. and Mrs. Noble. But first, let us take a trip down memory lane.
It's February of 1958. Met her about a week or so after I moved here. My brother Marty introduced us, and I think I met her at her boyfriend's house, right? Ex-boyfriend's house, and we got along fine. We liked one another, so I had a little bit of confrontation with the boyfriend, but after that, she was mine.
Wayne was just 16 years old at the time, and Sandy was 14. As a new couple, Wayne met Sandy at her house to meet her parents.
I went home and I told my mother I met the young man that I was going to marry. And when he came for me to introduce him to grandmother and grandfather, grandmother had a fence with a gate. He walked inside the gate and he took just a couple of steps and she said, "Stop right there." And she said, "I'm going to tell you right now, this is my daughter, and you better treat her with respect."
Wayne and Sandy would often go to the movie theater in Merritt Island, where they often held dance contests.
At the Merritt Island Theater, they had functions there besides just movies, and they had dance contests and dancing. And that's where we did a lot of dancing there. We won a couple of contests doing it too.
Mr. and Mrs. Jerry J. Block announced the engagement of their daughter Sandra Jean to Wayne Noble. Ms. Block was graduated from Cocoa High School and is employed by the Southern Bell Telephone Company. Mr. Noble was also graduated from Cocoa High School and is employed by the OK Tire Store.
Grandmother and grandfather did all the planning. I didn't even know what was going to take place. They just said they would handle everything, and they did.
On June 27, 1964, family and friends gathered at the Church of Our Savior in Cocoa Beach, Florida for Wayne and Sandy's wedding day.
A million to one, that's what our folks think about this love of ours. A million to one, they say that our love will fade like yesterday's flowers.
It's a song that we like because they my parents kind of gave it 1,000,000 to 1 chance. So we kind of hung on that as our song.
They're hoping in time we'll forget each other's lives.
That night, Wayne and Sandy started their lives as Mr. and Mrs. Noble.
We're too young to know.
Approximately 2 years later, after returning from the Bahamas, on July 31st, Sandy went into labor on August 3rd, 1967. The Nobles welcomed a baby girl and named her Dina.
The Lord blessed us with getting pregnant and, with Dina. She was our first. And she was born August 3rd of 1967.
When Wayne and Sandy celebrated their anniversary in the past, they usually celebrated with friends who had been married around the same time as they were. Wayne and Sandy had a few stories about Wayne's good friend, Buddy Graham.
The only thing I can remember is going to the restaurant and watching Buddy Graham eat pancakes.
I was just thinking about that.
He had a way of buttering his pancakes that just broke you out. Yeah. And we went to the Catholic church, and they all came with us because Mom was Catholic, so everybody had to come with us. And we were standing in the back because it was crowded, and one of the guys leaned over to me and said, because the priest was talking and speaking in Latin, and one of them said, "What's he saying?" I said, I kind of shrugged my shoulders, and all I said was, "Hello, God." And broke him up. I think we had to leave after that.
But Buddy said, did Buddy say, "Ali, Ali, I'm free"?
Yeah. I think it was what Buddy's
Yeah.
stick to see what people understand what was going on. So he said, "Ali, Ali, I'm free." So I think it was about time to gracefully leave before we probably would have thrown out. But you know what?
1972.
And 9 years after we got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got more. We got. We didn't get involved with church. Church got involved with us. We were born again believers on November 2nd, 1972. Both of us around 8:30 at night.
And it all started with Fred. Well, actually, it started before Fred, because Dad and I were having problems, and so I made up my mind that if he went out that weekend, I was done. But we had a roof leak. So the roofer came out, and the roofer happened to be Fred Smith. And he began to talk to me about the Lord and the Bible. And I remember crying out to God saying, "I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore." And so he was talking to me, and I just didn't want him to leave. He said, "I have to go because I have to go to church tonight." And it was like I just wanted to hear more about God. Knock on the door. I opened the door. It was Fred, and he had his pastor. His pastor was Jim Core. Jim Core was rowdy in high school. We knew him, and it was like, "You're a pastor?" So we let him in, and he began to talk to us about the Bible. That night, Dad and I, we accepted Christ as our Savior.
Wayne and Sandy had given their life to God. The family started to grow. In the 12 years of being involved with foster care, 27 children came into the Noble home. A few of them stayed permanently.
We got a call when I was up just 2 weeks, and the HRS said, "Are you still interested in taking in foster children?" And I said, "Well, yes, but I have to call my husband because he's working at the fire department." And she said, "But wait, before you do that," she said, "I just want you to know that there's a problem." And she said, "I have 3 sisters that we'd like to place with you." And I said, "I don't think that's a problem, but I'll call and see." So when I called Wayne at the fire department, and I told him what was going on, and he said, "No, that's fine. We'll take all 3. And that's where we started taking in foster children. We ended up with 9 children. And then one day, Wayne said to me, "You know, Sandy, I've been thinking, we really do have 12 children."
And we lost 3. And that really hurt both of us. And when you lose 3, you kind of pull within yourself. So we got into foster care, and then that kind of filled the gap, with the children. We both love kids. So But I told her that we have a dozen. We have the 9 plus those 3, which make that dozen we always kidded about, you know. I don't know if we're really serious about having a dozen. Everybody says a dozen, but we were pretty serious about this. You can see by the look on her face right now, she's pretty serious about it.
I was the neighborhood babysitter, so I always had children around me. And
Well, I'll tell you something. One of the reasons why she loved me is because I was as good with kids as she was.
right, right.
I'd go babysitting with her, and guess who took care of the kids?
And I got the money.
And she got the money.
But we always, the children always called him Fabian because of the way he wore his hair. And they loved everyone that I babysat for. And they used to fight over who was going to take care of their children. And so I remember one year, because every Christmas or holidays, or if anybody went out, it got to be where everybody was fighting over getting Sandy to babysit. So they decided they would just do a bundle package, and each person would open their home, and we'd take care of them, and all their children would come in. And we had sometimes, 10 children that we babysat for. So that's how I made my money, is babysitting at that time.
Wayne and Sandy Noble have completed 60 years of marriage this year. You have been married for 21,915 days, which is 525,960 hours, or 30,557,600 minutes, making a total of 1,893,456,000 seconds.
"60 years. When you say it like that, you start to wonder where the time went. What's the secret to a 60-year marriage, you might ask? Well, Sandy has an answer for that.
Well, Wayne has always told our children, because they have asked him the same question about how we have been together so long. He said there's a secret, and it's yes, dear. 2 words, yes, dear. And we make a joke of it, but it's true, right? Yes, dear.
That's good.
I would like all my children to know, first of all, how much Dad and I appreciate each one of you. You've all been a blessing. It's like putting a puzzle together when you have to find all those pieces, and God puts all those pieces together. And each one of you have had a special place in our heart.
Happy because she's happy. She's happy because I'm happy.
Hey, Wayne and Sandy, how are you? It's your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. And I want to congratulate you on celebrating your 60th wedding anniversary. Congratulations. I know you guys are doing it in Orlando, Florida. That is awesome. And I know you, Wayne, you watched wrestling most of your life. And I know that you and your beautiful wife know Kurt Angle very well. Thank you very much. And I know you guys are both involved in your church, and you're both selfless. And you guys raised 9 kids in one household. That's incredible. And Sandy, I know you volunteered your time to help the homeless and veterans most of your life. And Wayne, I know you always provided as a father. And this is the reason why they have me doing this video, because you guys are so loved. Take care and God bless and have a great anniversary. And by the way, you guys don't suck. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.